What's up, everybody? What it do, my tribe? Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Welcome back to our channel. So I got some things to get into today. Maybe a little grim, but I feel like it's definitely a message we need to hear today. So let's go on and get into it. Y'all go ahead and make sure that y'all like this video. If you haven't already subscribed, hopefully something is said that make you want to. And for those who already did, thank you guys so much. We love y'all so much, to all our new subscribers. And let's go on and get into it tonight, you guys. Let's go. The building. We got a lot of stuff to talk about today. A lot. It's been so much going on in social media and with just people just taking their lives. A lot of stuff going on. I got a few things I want to touch on today, and it's not going to be a very long video. I'm going to restream this video later on, but I just want to get it out so I can get on with my family and make some dinner and stuff when these kids come home. So you guys come on in the building. My stomach growling so loud. It's growling so loud, sound like a daggone bear in there in my stomach. In the world? What's up, everybody? What's up, all our new subscribers, all of our subscribers, moderators, everybody in the building? Make sure y'all liking this video, and let's go on and get into it. Let's get into it today. It's a little deep topic today that's kind of grim for a Monday. But we just had Miss USA jump off a 29th floor terrace. So, and then only within a week of what happened with Regina King's son. So that's definitely something that we need to be talking about, because as Black people, it's some things that we do and it's some things that we are known not to do. One of them is having an eating disorder and killing ourselves. Those are just things that we don't do like that. So when you start seeing that, a whole number of people doing it in the way, in the manner that she did it. Let me give her a name. Her name is Cheslie Kryst. Cheslie Kryst. I didn't follow her. I didn't know too much about her, but just to know that that young lady, at the end of whatever she was going through in her mind and in life, the things that have happened to her, you know, for her to take her life in that manner, such a gruesome manner. I don't really be caring about what other stuff is on, you know what I'm saying, on the shade room and stuff like that. When I see things like that within a week of each other, we saw Regina King. I think that was her only child. I see that, and then I see this thing with Cheslie. It is something serious going on in our community. It is something very serious. Like I said, that's things that Black people don't usually do. It's very rare that you hear of us taking our lives or having an eating disorder or something like that. We usually don't get into all of that. We usually leave that up to other people. But when you start seeing it back to back like this, my tribe, my people, we need to recognize that. We need to recognize that. A lot of our sisters and brothers are out here hurting bad. They're out here hurting bad. Nobody calls them to check on them unless they need something most of the time. You know, they have a emptiness of things that have happened to them in their past, things that they can't escape. Horrible things. And I think that her mother was white, so I think she was mixed. Good afternoon, C-Mac. Thank you. You guys come on in here. Very good topic today. It's not no coincidence that we are seeing what we're seeing right now with these back-to-back suicides. It ain't no accidental. They are intentional, and they meant to end their lives. For me knowing God and me knowing how God feel about those things. Hello, Dorothy Hood. I'm just going to give some shout-outs to people while y'all coming on in here. Miss Jackie, how you doing? Caloris Rays, what's up? What it do? It's very, very disturbing to see these things going on in our community like that. And the manner of which she did it was just so. This pandemic has torn people apart. The pandemic has left them with the closest they gonna ever get to the other side. I felt like during the pandemic, when people just had to deal with their emotions, deal with their children, deal with their friends, deal with their husbands, their relationships, boyfriends, girlfriends, it really shed a light on those who's going to be able to be strong throughout everything that's going on in this world right now, and those who don't really have it together. Like when I was talking about last Monday about being spiritually rich, you know, that's exactly what I was saying. These people are so spiritually poor, they don't believe, they don't see a way out. They don't see a way out, man. They think that the only way out is to end their life, not knowing that when they go on the other side, you can't die twice. So now you stuck with your thoughts, your emotions, all your feelings that you felt in this physical world, in this temple that God gave us to protect. Now you gonna feel it 10 times more, and it ain't no checking out, because you already checked out off of this physical world. And I think that they really don't understand that at all. They think that when it's over, they feel like it's just over. It's so many people that feel that way. They feel like they have nothing else left. And that when they end their lives, when they go over to the other side, it's just going to be peaceful. It's going to be a place of peace for them. That's not true. I don't believe that. And I know it's not. It's going to be even worse. Because now you have nothing to deal with but your own thoughts and your own self in real time. And time doesn't even exist anymore. It's an endless thing of you just reaccounting all these things that happen in your life. Most definitely, T-Money78, most definitely we have to. You know, it's good to check on our people and just see how they doing, not asking for nothing, not being all in their business, you know, trying to find. So many people, they call and check on you just to see how bad you doing, or if something bad happened to you. Nothing positive. And when you start seeing black people taking their lives, young people taking their lives like that, that's something to stand up and pay attention to. Damn, a lot of this stuff that's going on. That's something we need to pay attention to. Because she didn't just take pills to go to sleep peacefully in her bed and wake up in a place of peace. She jumped from a 26th floor terrace to her death. Okay? I don't want to be pretty. I don't want you. She can't even have an open casket if she was somebody that wanted that. She did not. The whole beauty thing and all this stuff, she wanted it to be gone. That had to be in her mind frame. None of that stuff even matters. And when you come from people that has had that's in mixed, and they have a white mother or a white father, whoever was the predominantly person that was raising them, they have to deal with so much racist shit. They have to deal with so much racist shit from their grandparents who's racist, they aunties and uncles. All these things they have to deal with. We need to have more sympathy for those people. You know, we always be like, they don't want to claim our side. They don't want. Well, it depends on what side they were raised by. And half of the time with us, even if they was raised by the blacks, we still try to find a way to make them feel bad about something. This woman who was Miss USA decided to jump from a 26-foot terrace, splat, and you know what I'm saying, just to get, you need to see it, because the psychological thing behind it. I don't want to be beautiful in this moment. I want people to look at me and say, you know, what was going on there? What was really going on there? And then her Tyler Adams, her last Instagram, it was just heartbreaking. It was her last Instagram post. She said, "May this day bring you peace and rest." But what she did not know, unfortunately, because so many of our people out here are so spiritually poor, and when God don't do something exactly when they want him to do it, save them from situations exactly from when they want to be saved in that moment in real time and make these miraculous things happen, they dismiss every other thing that he's done. They dismiss that and don't understand that. They feel like in their worst moments that God abandoned them. That's what they feel. And they on their knees crying, because we all have gotten to that point in life where things is just feel like it's just piling up on us. One thing after another thing after another thing. You be saying, when is this gonna stop? Or sometimes you walk around and say, God, did you just put me here to pay bills? Or am I really living life? You know? And you feel like in those moments, if he don't do something right then and there, it's over. And I'm gonna tell you right now, this on these Mondays, this is not for trolls. This is not for atheists. This is not for people who think they did everything on their own. When I'm coming to you on these Mondays to give you some inspiration during the week, this is not for those people. So if you don't believe in God, or you have a problem with that whole ideology, then this is not the video for you. And I suggest that you please leave right now. I suggest that you leave right now, because I'm not here to cater to you and your beliefs. I'm going to be catering to the Most High and what he set forth for us to do. And we need to pay attention when we see our people taking their lives in this manner like this. We have to pay attention to that. They didn't say too much stuff about Regina King's son, but just for that to happen within a week, and it's out to the public, and they want the public to care about it, pay attention to it. There are things going on with people in our family, those outcasts, those quiet people that make it seem like they don't care if you call them or not. They do. They want to know that somebody cares about them. You ain't got to call them and ask them about, the things that they trying to escape from. Talk to them about some movies. Talk to them about something uplifting that helped them. We have to stop looking at people as weirdos. Thank you so much, C Mac, for the super chat. So sad about Miss USA. Hold on, let me put that back up. So sad about Miss USA. Prayers going up for her and her family and all the people who are going through pain in their heart. And there's so many of us. It is so many of us that think, when people call you, they call and check on you, but sometimes they call just to see how bad you're doing. People don't need that in these times. People don't need that in these times. They need real caring. Hey, how you doing? With your big head self. Roast them, make them laugh. Make them feel like there's hope, because a part of them has lost it. With all this money and all these things that these people have around them, it's not enough. It's not enough. Because they are literally spiritually poor. And a lot of people around them have not put in that word of God in them to let them know that it's a better way out. It's not this. This is not the way. I mean, sometimes you got to think, like, some of us have kids, that are older, that's getting ready to start going out into this world and dating. And we know our children. Can you imagine their first heartbreak? Their first disappointment on a career or job or anything they have going on? Do your children and the people around you have the spiritual withal to be able to withstand disappointment? You'd be surprised how many people don't. You would be very surprised how many people do not. And they feel like when it's over, it's just over. There's nothing going back from the trauma and things they experience. Ain't nobody out there can understand them. That's how they feel. Nobody understands me. Nobody gets me. Everybody wants something from me because of who I am. They don't have a lot of real people in their lives like that. And if this wasn't a wake-up call, it should be. Out of all the things we need to be paying attention to, when it comes to black people killing themselves at a high rate like this, and I'm not going to say just because of her, this hasn't been going on. It's been going on for a while. But the way that the media is pushing it to let you see that, you definitely, when the white man trying to show you that, you definitely need to pay attention to that. Because that's exactly what's happening right now. That's right. We got to be better witnesses to the world. We really do. We can't just be like, oh, that's just so sad. That's so sad. She jumped off of a 26 terrace to her death. A beautiful beauty queen. She didn't want to be pretty in that moment. She didn't want her last image of people seeing her as a pretty person. She was tired of that. Especially when I see that she was somebody of mixed race. The things that those people go through, that's even harder when they go to school. You know, if they did identify with their black side more. Now you got the black girls and boys saying crazy things to you, pulling your hair and doing all these crazy things that they don't even know about. These kids that's out here that people trying to portray and put these things on them. Shout out to CDT, my people in the house, that people are trying to put these things on them. They have no idea as children what these people are talking about, especially if they mix race. We have our own colorism problem. A whole bunch of other cultures do too. So just imagine being mixed race and your grandmother and great grandfather don't want to accept you, or they saying weird things to you. Like, that must be your black side. That must be the nigga side of you. Oh, look at your hair. That must come from your black side, that nappy hair stuff. And they say it just like that. We know they do. We know they do. We've heard them say those things. Imagine how they feel growing up as a kid and feeling that way. People saying weird stuff to you. You don't even know that you got quote unquote good hair or bad hair or green eyes or blue eyes. You just a person. And they treat you like you already, because they feel sad within themselves, project their stuff out to them. Even as kids, people have done that stuff. You know, people like probably Tasha K's ass that project that negative thing out into the world just because they insecure within and they spiritually poor within themselves. This is something to definitely pay attention to, because our people don't do that. We don't do that. We need to be there checking on our folks, man, and your kids too, and your children too, definitely. They always say everything all right. I'm cool. Everything's fine. Everything's great. Even if deep down you know it may not be great, make them smile today. If you ain't talked to a family member in so long, not they did something messed up to you, but just those outcasts and stuff that you don't think to call because you think they got everything together. They don't be having everything together. A lot of them people don't. They just want one person to call and make them laugh. Don't ask me about my finances. Don't ask me about any of those things. That if they choose to get into that with you, turn it into a funny, positive moment. It's so many people that need that right now. That's worth doing it for. Some of these motherfuckers out here ain't worth doing it for. They ain't worth your time. We'll spend more time trying to build up a person that's a narcissistic person than we would somebody that really need it. These expectations that they place on us is crazy. It really is. That's so true. And then when you have a child that's talented, or you have a parent you always have to check on them. I mean, look at Janet Jackson's documentary we just watched. We should be glad that she's still here. That she didn't take her life because her brother wanted something that we ain't never even heard of. Propofol. Michael wanted to be put to sleep and then have a drug to have him wake him back up. He didn't even want to dream. He just wanted to black out, not think about anything. We have to look at that. And Janet wasn't too far away from everything that happened with that stupid Justin Timberlake and all her relationships. I can tell her sister Rebe and all these people, Randy was there for her, because if she didn't have nobody and it was just her and Michael, she would have been next, just like Whitney Houston's daughter. I know some foul play was done there, but just the whole mindset of the lifestyle of that you can't trust anybody. Nobody cares about me. That's how they feel. Nobody cares about me. Really. They all want to gain something from me, and I have no one. Not knowing that they have God. Not knowing that. They hear God, they hear people say that, but they don't believe it in their hearts. They don't believe that it can never get any better. They don't believe in healing. They don't believe in that. They think that they can't run away from everything that has happened to them. And horrific things has happened to them. Understand that. Horrible things have happened to these people. Things that they can't even formulate in the words to be able to express to us has happened to them. Exactly. Exactly. We wouldn't even have Janet had she not had the support system around her to help her. And you can tell by watching the thing, she's a kind-hearted, soft-hearted person. And then you got people that come into your life, predators. We don't even know what was going on with this young lady, but it'd be predators that come into our lives, us good people that have good intentions, that say, if you need something, I'll help you out. You don't want nothing back. I don't need nothing back, and I ain't gonna never mention it again either. We just do things out the kindness of our hearts, but it is predators out there that don't give a damn about how pure your heart is. You need to understand that in these days so you don't end up being in a situation like a lot of our brothers and sisters is finding themselves. You need to recognize that and be okay with letting these people go. Because these people are not going to bring any kind of happiness and joy to your life. They are disruptions in your life. They are people that want to keep you in a box as somebody, whatever they thought that you did in your past, that's exactly where they're going to keep you to make themselves feel better. Get away from them. Get away from them now. Get away from them. Because they are not here to help you at all. They are here to hurt you. They are here to hurt you and take advantage of you. You got Jermaine Dupri sitting on there, yeah, with his ugly ass, sitting up there talking about, yeah, well, I was cheating on her because when you dating Janet Jackson, a whole bunch of women be wanting you then. Jermaine Dupri, wasn't your father like the head of LaFace or something like that? Or an A&R, way big up. You was a rich kid yourself. You found Kris Kross and you always had groupies and girls and you found all these groups. So don't say that. At that time when you met Janet, you were supposed to be settling and living your life. That's what you were supposed to be doing. How many thoughts and stuff is in Atlanta? All of them looking the same. You know what? He was sitting up there. He was reminding me of Dennis, Portia's baby daddy. And he laughed and he giggled about it like it was nothing. You know what I'm saying? When you get you a baddie, you know what I'm saying? It's going to be a whole bunch of little baddies after you. And you fell for it. And you fell for that. See, there's so many of us out here that don't want to be single. So many of my black women out here that don't want to be single. All we literally want to do is be a good wife to someone who's going to love us fully and completely in their heart. Not being out here on no bullshit trying to hurt us just because they can. And then want us to give our all when you don't give your all. That's hurtful. You take them scars with you when you go on to your next relationship. We try to heal from those things, but it's a lot of things that we carry on. And we never, ever, who out here goes and has children and want to raise them by themselves? They make it seem like we chose to be single mothers out here. I know for myself, I never wanted that. I always wanted somebody I can just love and they would love me back with a pure heart and recognize what I'm doing for them. And I recognize what they're doing for me and don't take advantage of me. When I heard her talking, it was just like so many of these people, they just take advantage of us. Oh, I know she gonna cook me something to eat. Even when they don't deserve it, we do things way operating outside our expertise, basically. And we have to stop that. They be so hurt, Jackie, from other people, like you said, that they want to put, like, you have to pay for everything that somebody else did, or their parents did, or their daddy did, or their mama did. That wasn't for us to do. And if you find yourself in a position like that, understand that you are not going to be rewarded by God by participating in that narcissistic crap that they doing to you. You are not going to be rewarded for treating somebody that you know is treating you messed up and taking advantage of you. And you think, if you gave half of that to God, you'd be in a better situation. If you gave half of that love to the Most High, you'd be in a better situation. He's a jealous God anyway, and for sure he don't want you doing stuff for people that ain't worth it. Answering their phone calls when you know you ain't supposed to. Catering to them and being available when you know you ain't supposed to be. Why do they deserve your time? God say you don't even give him half of that time. But you'll give it to this idiot. And then what you think gonna happen when they cheat on you and do all these things and take advantage of you? What's the first thing you want? You want to pray. God, please take me out of this. Take yourself out. I can't come down here and just be taking you out of stuff. You see what's going on. You know he a cheater. You know she a cheater. What are you doing? Everybody have their reasons for doing things, but you have to understand that even when you moving trying to move away from them people, he's going to help you. He is going to help you. Only person holding you back is yourself. Don't get held back by these people who, as soon as you leave, will find another sucker to do it to abuse. All these people she talking about, they ain't even, who are they with right now? Nobody. He's not going to put you in those situations, especially if you're a good person and want you to stay there for the sake of your kids, for the sake of marriage. That's a two-way street. You cannot be a good mother to your kids when you have somebody that's over you, that's straight trying to just destroy you, and your babies get to see that. You are not doing nobody no favors. But you see, everybody in this world out here, in this messed up world, will say, well, you had babies by him. You supposed to stay with him. Stay with him. You ain't got to, I'm here to tell you, you ain't got to stay with nobody. If they treating you bad, or they the breadwinners, take a leap of faith. Stand on faith and watch how far that gets you. It'll be the best decision you ever made in your daggone life. Some friends too. You got to get away from these people. These people are spiritually poor and trying to drain you for everything that you got. Everything that you got. Don't care about hurting your feelings. You say you love this man so much, then how come when you cry, he don't care? How come when you feel sad, he don't care? Or make up some excuse? And you thinking in your mind, because they love people who've been abused, they love telling you stories about how bad their life was. Well, if it was so bad, don't you think you would have learned something and treat me a little better? Somebody that care about you, somebody that love you, doing everything for you, making sacrifices for you, breaking their back for you? Or am I going to have to sit here and still pay for the mistakes of your past? And it's okay because horrible things have happened to you. And I'm the person that God chose to bear the burden of that. Not them. They want to put it on you. Well, you know my mama used to beat me. You know this used to happen to me. You know she on some Ike Turner stuff. You going to leave me, huh? You going to leave me like the rest of the people? It's a bunch of women out there like that too. Ari Fletcher is a great example. If a nigga don't pull a gun out on me and put a gun to my head, that's the only way that I know that he cares about me. Listen to what these hurt people are saying. If they don't do that and try to harm me in some way, that's just another person trying to take spiritual advantage of you, really. Because I know you love me. If you love me that much, then you're going to do whatever I tell you to do. It's not a two-way street for these people. You are the person who initiated yourself to love me. So if you're going to love me, you have to love the abuse that I give to you too. And if you don't, then you never love me anyway. Let that sit in for a minute. Let that sit in for a minute. If you don't let me abuse you psychologically, physically, then you never love me anyway. You just like everybody else. They don't. Miss Jack, you hit it on the head. Y'all make sure y'all liking this video. It's so sad. So many of our people fall victim to these broken and abused people out here. Like we owe them something. I didn't do it to you. I just want to be loved and love somebody. Anybody who's going there with this thing like, you got to prove your love to me. You got to, hey, don't be here for that. You ain't got to prove nothing. Keep being who you are. And if that's not enough for them, that's how you recognize a toxic relationship. If me loving you with a pure heart, and I know in my heart I'm not trying to do nothing to you, and you want me to constantly prove and prove and prove, God don't care about it. You ain't nothing but a little pond in they little crazy swirl of mess that they got going on in their head and mind. You don't get no props for that. And telling your friends and stuff like they give a fuck. Yeah, girl, I did this for him. I did that for him. Or this for her and that for her. Don't you know they did X, Y, Z? Don't you know they did the opposite? Because it's never going to be enough for people like that. That's toxic. Nothing's ever going to be enough. Don't matter how much you love them. How good your sex is. It don't matter to them because it's never going to be enough. Because at any moment, they will have a flashback or a moment that makes them think about when somebody did them wrong. And it can always be you. Nothing you can do. You can have their kids, all these things, and they will still look at you sideways. They will still look at you like that. But I had a few things I wanted to touch on today, you guys. I'm so glad for everybody that did come in the chat today, because it was so very disturbing to me to see that somebody, when I listened to that song with Beyonce song, Beauty Hurts, y'all know what I'm talking about. How some of our mothers, and I know mine's, I'm just gonna be honest. My mother was that way too. Your hair always had to be perfect. My skin always had to be perfect. Everything had to be perfect for the public. Everything. Those things can play a toll on somebody, especially when you grow up. Especially when you grow up and you start feeling that. Did you hear what Janet Jackson said about Renee? He said that everywhere we go, I got to have my makeup on. Everywhere we go, I got to look a certain way. Our own parents do that stuff to us. And I'm just going to be honest about myself. I know my mother was like that with me. My hair had to be perfect, everything. I wasn't allowed to cut my hair. I wasn't allowed, you know what I'm saying, all these things. And when you talk about somebody that's been in pageantry for I don't know how long, you know, she wanted to end her life by looking like the most horrific. She didn't want to be seen as a beauty queen anymore. And that's something we need to look into with our people. We sure need to have so many more people, not like Tasha K, that's up here showing and spreading love to people. We need to spread love to our people that need it. Not the ones in your family and your friends that don't talk that much. Those ones. He all right, she all right. Or even the ones that do. Sometimes they be secretly hurting. Robin Williams. Can you imagine when he was at his therapist and his joking self, how he is all the time? Well, you know how Robin was. That was another person that hurt when he left. Because you would never look at this person that you would think is so full of life and got so many things going for him, would just stop and just want to be up out of here. And the saddest part about it all is that they think they're going to be in a place of peace. And that's no disrespect to their families, but it ain't no peace when you do that. When you go over there on this other side, you ain't got nothing but your thoughts and your past and everything that's ever happened to you in your life to think about for all eternity. You have to make peace in your life right now. Make peace with these people. If you out here, you got a problem with somebody, you got something going on with somebody, make peace and move on. That don't mean make peace and still have them a part of your life. But some of these people, you need to make peace and just move on, because they don't fit into where you going into your next phase of your life. And with that said, you guys, let's love on one another on this Monday and throughout the week. Let's spread some love, you guys. Let's spread some love. Call up your brothers and sisters, your aunties, uncles, whoever you ain't talked to in a while, and just check on them. Because this is not us. This is not us. This is abnormal. This is abnormal, okay? Check on them, you guys. And continue to do unto others as you will have them do unto you. For all the ones that didn't catch it, I'm going to restream it, because I'm checking this algorithm thing out on YouTube as far as my times when people be coming in. So I love you guys, and y'all have a wonderful week. And I'll be back tomorrow to kiki with y'all about some stuff that's going on. Y'all check for the post. Peace out, you guys.